Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I wanted to show you a really cool Ancient Warriors deck profile. I think it's a very powerful deck. It's super underrated, and at the end of this video I'm also gonna show you guys a cool little interaction you can do to recycle your own kaijus, and that is really cool. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Of course, you're gonna start by playing 3 copies of Masterful Sun Mu. This one is going to be your best normal summon of the deck. After that, I'm also running 3 copies of Virtuous Liu Xian. This one I feel is slightly less better than Sun Mu, because your opponent has to have more monsters on the field, but nonetheless it's still a very good card. I'm also running 1 copy of Zhuge Kong and then 1 copy of Zhugong, and that's it for the level 4 monsters of this deck. Now let's get into the bigger monsters. First off, I am running 3 copies of Rebellious Lu Fang. This one is just amazing. It can special summon itself, it's a free pop. Just be careful, because if your opponent still controls a monster with a higher attack in the end phase, your opponent gets this monster, so be mindful of that. After that, I'm also running 3 copies of Loyal Guan Yun. This one can special summon itself for free when your opponent has more monsters, or when only your opponent controls a monster, and then when he controls more monsters than you do, you also get a free pop, so that is really good. After that, I'm also running 1 Zheng Yuan. This one is basically a hand trap, because when your Ancient Warrior monster battles, you can special summon this one from your hand, and your opponent's monster will lose 1,000 attack. Then I also have 1 copy of Valiant Sang Dai. This one you can special summon when you control 2 or more Ancient Warrior monsters, so that is really cool. And then also 1 Ambitious Chao Dai. This one can special summon itself when one of your opponent's cards get destroyed, so it's really easy to get him on the field. After that, I am running 2 copies of Gameciel and 2 copies of Godarla, along with 1 copy of Pankratops. So yeah, this is a going second deck, that's why we run all of those cards. After that, the spells, I'm running 3 copies of 3 Visits. 3 Visits is going to be your best spell. It's going to search your Ancient Warrior monsters, and when it leaves the field, it lets you special summon one from your hand. After that, I'm also running 3 copies of East by South Winds. East by South Winds has the effect that when it leaves the field, your opponent can no longer respond with card effects in response to the activation of your Ancient Warrior effect, so that is really good. And then I also run the 1 Sun Liu Alliance. This one doesn't really come up a lot, but it lets your Ancient Warrior monsters gain attack equal to the number of Ancient Warriors you control, so that is really good. After that, I am running 1 copy of Fire Formation Tenki and 1 copy of Fire Formation Tensu. These are pretty self-explanatory. This one searches, and this one lets you have a second normal summon. For some power spells, I am running 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet is just really good in this deck, because you can send your own spells with Forbidden Droplet, and then their effects will trigger. I'm also running 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. This is just an amazing card. I am running 2 copies of Lightning Storm, and then a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, and that is it for the main deck. Now onto the extra deck. For the extra deck, I am running 3 copies of Double Dragon Lords. This is going to be your best card because when it's special summoned, it lets you search a Ancient Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. All Ancient Warriors gain 500 attack, and you can also bounce your opponent's card, so that is really cool. After that, I am running 1 IP Masquerena and 1 Nightmare Unicorn. I'm also running a single Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. The majority of your monsters are above level 7, and you're gonna have more than 3 monsters with different names on the field a lot of times, so this one does come up a lot, and it is just a really powerful card. I'm also running 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, and of course Access Code Talker to go for game, but they don't really come up a lot because you're gonna go for game with your Ancient Warriors most of the time. I'm also running 1 copy of Baguska. Baguska, well, this is just a stall for time. There are a lot of level 4s in this deck, so this one does come up. 1 copy of Tiger King. This one can search your fire formation spells. 1 copy of Behemoth Shark, and then of course a single copy of Totally Awesome. And then to round out the extra deck, I'm also running 1 copy of Draglubion, 1 copy of Hope Harbinger, and a single copy of Numeron Dragon. A lot of your cards are level 8s, so this one does come up, and Numeron Dragon will gain 9000 attack when it resolves, so that is really cool. Now I'm gonna show you guys a super fun interaction you can do. Alright, so say that your opponent has a couple of problematic monsters on the field, and you opened up with your Masterful Sunmoo, your 3 visits, and a Kaiju. You're gonna first Kaiju the most problematic monster that your opponent controls, then you're going to activate your copy of 3 visits. Now you're going to normal summon your Sunmoo, which will then trigger the effect of 3 visits to gain a search. Now, off of 3 visits, you're going to search your copy of Zuge Kong, which will then, because it is searched off of 3 visits, trigger to special summon itself to your side of the field. And then because another Ancient Warriors monster activated this effect, your Masterful Sunmoo will trigger to bounce one of your opponent's cards back to their hand. So you're going to bounce your own Kaiju, which will then come back to your hand, and then you can special summon it to his side of the field and take care of the second monster. Now what you can do is use your Masterful Sunmoo's effect to get rid of or discard your 3 visits to gain the search. You can search any card here. I usually go for something like Guan Yun, and once it's in your hand, your 3 visits will trigger in graveyard, and it lets you special summon him. Then you can use Guan Yun, which is a wind type, and your Masterful Sunmoo to go into your copy of Double Dragon Lords. And then use the effect of Double Dragon Lords to discard any card you have in your hand or on the field, and bounce back the Kaiju once again. So now you're going to have also your Double Dragon Lords will give you a search, so you can search for your Rebellious Lu Fang. You can then special summon your Lu Fang because you control an Ancient Warrior monster. You will have a Kaiju in your hand for the following turn, a free pop, and another bounce. So that is really powerful in my opinion. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.